The Solčava district. A walk into the arms of the Alps. The mountain-encircled Solčavsko, whose population has always led its lives in connection with nature, is located at the upper current of the Savinja River. Many customs, traditions and beliefs from the past can still be found in the everyday life of the hospitable locals. Solčavsko includes the small village Solčava, the Podolševa hamlet, and three wonderful alpine valleys, Robano and Matko Kot valleys, as well as the Logor Valley. The Savinja, at this point still clean and vivacious, has cut a narrow gorge into the rocky massif so as to pour over to the valley. In its upper current, it is a disappearing stream. The descent into the valley in the Rinka waterfall is followed by a short surface stream in the form of the Kotovec torrent. Then it disappears and reappears in the lower part of the Logor Valley in the Črna source. From there onward, it is named Savinja. A narrow path which runs through the eye of a needle, a crevice between the igla, the needle, a high-pointed rock and the remaining rocky massif led into the valley more than a century ago. Not until the end of the 19th century were the rocks below the igla blasted as widely as the road, and this hidden corner was opened to the world. The sunny slopes above the Solčava district saw first settlements over a millennium ago, but people used to seek shelter there before that. A small part of the mysteries of the underground caves has already been unveiled. The most famous among them is the Potočka Zijavka cave in Olševa, where 25,000 years old remains of humans have been found. The most valuable finds include stone and bone tools, lenses, needles, points, and a bone flute of prehistoric man. More recent findings pose the question whether Potočka Zijavka was a hunter's post or perhaps a temple of the Cro-Magnon hunters of the time. The Solčava village is the center of Solčavsko, squeezed among the steep slopes by the river. Once a gathering point for the locals with only a handful of houses, it is nowadays the municipal and touristic center of the area. On a hillock above the village lies the Gothic church of Saint Mary of the Snows, whose greatest attraction is a statue of Mary with Jesus from the 13th century. On the next hill grows the famous Solčava yew tree, which has kept a vigilant eye over the village for over 700 years. A small part of the rich heritage that is described in books written by Jože Vršnik, Robano Joža, and Valent Vidar can be found on every step of the way. Three parallel valleys make up the jewel of Solčavsko: Robano Kot, the Logor Valley, and Matko Kot. They are all worth taking the effort to reach their very end, where something special is hidden. Robano Kot has been named after the old Roban farmstead, which, similarly to some other large Solčava farms, was first entered into the land registry in the year 1426. Take a pleasant walk along the bottom of the peaceful Robano Kot, which is closed for traffic from the Roban farm onwards. The only road available is the one rising to the three farms high above the valley, including the Knez farm, where descendants of the Counts of Celje are said to have lived. Well-managed tourist farms await visitors in the valley. Walkers enjoy a walk past the splendid Roban meadow until Kot, with an alpine dairy farm at the end of the valley. The Logar Valley lies in the middle and is also the longest and best-known valley in Solčavsko. Similarly to its neighboring two valleys, it has also been created by a glacier, which stopped at the point where the Črna and Jezera merge into Savinja. The best view of the valley is offered at this glacial deposit. This lower part of the valley is called Log, with the well-known chapel of Christ the King. The Nature Ethnological Train, which leads to Log, is run along the valley, via its middle part, called Plest, until Logarski Kot. Past several attractions, we are brought to the magnificent Rinka waterfall at the end of the valley. The Logar Valley is a great starting point for mountain trips to mountain huts and further up to the peaks of the Kamnik-Savinja Alps. Skilled observers will soon be able to observe a herd of chamois or even an ibex and the splendid blossoms of alpine plants. Above them circle mountain eagles and jackdaws, and in spring mating songs of grouses and capercailzies can be heard. Various options for active spending of leisure in nature show us that we do not need much to feel satisfied. It is enough to enjoy good company, listen to an experienced guide, or take a scenic walk or a mountain tour, to cycle or climb, or just to sit on a viewpoint bench. The reconstruction of old and the discovery of new stories in the fairy tale forest light up the eyes of our youngest visitors. It is wonderful to be spoiled by wellness programs with a view on the snowed mountains. Winter adventures on cross-country skis, sledges, alpine skiing and ski touring are unforgettable. Underneath the Palenk waterfall and in the upper part of the Plest meadows, there is a number of modern tourist and catering facilities. The valley also includes a few tourist farms and mountain huts which bear witness to the rich tradition of mountaineering and tourism in the Logar Valley. The Logar Valley Landscape Park, managed by the locals since 1992, has been awarded the CIPRA International Award and several other prizes which confirm the original and successful management of the park. Matko Kot is the most peaceful valley in Solčavsko. Its bottom is covered in pebbles, but the sunny slopes are reigned by lone farms, the largest among them being Matks farm, after which the valley has been named, and whose estate stretches from the bottom of the valley to the top of the Mount Mrzla Gora. Farms have been traditionally oriented towards forestry and stock breeding, and nowadays also towards tourism, milk and wood processing, as well as the creation of stone products from the decorative Solčava marble. Processing of wool and the splendid felt and knit products made by industrious hands have also seen a revival. During springtime, many mountain lovers participate in the walk to Matks Top at the end of the valley, which is a large snow hollow eroded into deep snow. The farms are connected by a road which rises to 1,100 meters above sea level and offers wonderful views of the valley and the Kamnik-Savinia Alps, the reason why it has been called the Panoramic Road. From the Logar Valley, or Matko Kot, the Solčava Panoramic Road takes us past farms to the sunny Podolsheva hamlet with its small Church of the Holy Spirit, and further to Bukonik Farm, the highest located farm in Slovenia. On this road we can descend to Solčava or Črna na Koroškem. A connection to Eisenkappel in Austria is also provided via the Paulitzel border crossing. A mountain path runs from the Church of the Holy Spirit and 2 tourist farms to the top of Mount Olszeva. Many people, however, only ascend to Potočka Zijavka, whose interesting archaeological history has brought about stir by several generations. Various karst formations, from underground caves to deep abysses, are created by the water. An interesting source of iron, mineral-rich sour water, which has long been ascribed healing properties by the locals, can be found next to the road. Walkers and cyclists like to stop by the source to quench their thirst and to experience the interesting taste of this sorrel water. In the homes of Solčavsko, the sound of the zither can still be heard. Not only accommodation and good food, but also many interesting activities for visitors are on offer. Nature has provided us with a magnificent scenery of valleys, forests, and the grandiose wreath of the Kamnik-Savinia Alps. People in Solčavsko have lived in harmony with nature for centuries. They have kept their heads high, preserved nature, and formed genuine relationships in this mountain corner. There are several sustainable development projects going on in Solčavsko, promoting the development of felt products made of wool of the Jezersko-Solčava sheep breed, the development of wooden products made of Solčava mountain wood, the development of new tradition-based food products, and development of products made of the local stone, the Logar marble. The Rinka Center, which is a multi-purpose center for sustainable development of the area, has been opened in Solčava. In 2009, Solčavsko received the title European Destination of Excellence for Tourism in Protected Areas. Such a confirmation of our past activities pleases and binds us. Welcome to Solčavsko, dear friends, who understand and support our efforts for nature preservation and the cultural identity.